things are a little different when you first get here. I mean, you show up and you think to yourself, I'm gonna figure this out. All these other people, they may have given up, they may have accepted it, but me, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna be the one who gets to go home. Well, me, I didn't really have a choice. When I first got here, I was so busy taking care of my dad that I was just...
Your dad?
He passed away.
And your mom, she used to run the diner? You lost both your parents here?
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
Whenever things got really bad here, You know, my dad used to say, she used to always say, it's hard to see the sweater when you're only just a thread. No matter how bad it gets, we'll never have this day again. You know, before we came here, I don't think I ever once remember seeing my mom cry. And now every single night, I hear her sobbing in her room. Whenever I think about my dad, all I can see is him lying there in that basement. I can't think of him and not see him like that.
Before she died, she said, I don't even know if I'm saying this right.
Take care of him. That's what it means. He'll be alone now. Mom?
Denial is a major branch of our family tree.
Stop. No.
Hey.
It's okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I feel like I'm hanging on by a thread here. I can't find any more bodies. I just can't. What I'm about to do, I'm gonna do. Hey, I'm ready. And that's it. I don't want to talk. I don't want to listen.
Kenny, what are the bottles for?
I'm gonna find those things. And I'm gonna burn every last fucking one of them. I'm gonna make those fucking things hurt.
We have to find another way.
Boyd, don't fucking touch me.
I was going to tell you.
When exactly were you planning on telling me?
Maybe I could still help and he wouldn't have to.
I don't care. All right, I don't care. Don't care. I don't give a shit. When you want, when you feel.
You guys were like family to me, and you're...
Shut the fuck up! Don't fucking talk about my dad! She killed my dad! They tore him to pieces, and you knew!
This is how they want us. Angry.
You're the father Kenny no longer has.
I lied to you about what Sarah did, about your dad. And I know there's a part of you that's never gonna forgive me. I need to know that you are gonna step up and look after this place. It has to be you wearing this badge, and not some hothead like Acosta or anybody else who might come through. You.
I'll be okay. Someone's gotta make sure that Jim comes back in one piece.
All right.
I know what it's like to lose a parent here, and I'm not gonna watch Julie and Ethan lose both their parents in the same week.
I need to know that my family is in good hands.
Maybe we aren't the ones that get to go home. But maybe what we did here makes it easier for the people who come next. Maybe we're the reason that they get to go home. Just because we're only a threat doesn't mean we don't matter.
We're back to hop into episode 8 of From Season 4, but before we do, I want to shout out one of my commenters for pointing out how Victor's actor actually has a real mole on his neck, but it turns out Ethan also does. The only difference is Ethan's actor in Simon Webster does not actually have a mole there, so we have to wonder, why apply the makeup to Ethan in the first place? Either way, let's go ahead and get into it. Boyd prepares for yet another town meeting where he can catch everyone up to speed, but he prefers to inform both Henry and Victor first. Henry currently drunk and keeping up his lingering beef with Boyd that we've seen throughout the season.
The best thing we can do right now is talk to Victor.
I'll do it. I'll talk to him.
No, maybe we should all.
I will talk to my son. Alone.
I'm not really quite sure what Henry's problem with Boyd really is, as they seem to not get along from the get-go. Yet Henry never had a problem with Donna. Tabitha laments over the loss of Jim by looking through his old clothes and decides to inform the kids and catch them up on what's been fully going on with her. Julie once again deciding to smoke right outside of their window despite Kenny literally catching her last time, so it's to be expected that Tabitha finds out as well. Ethan also coming out wondering if he and Victor are technically brothers based off what Tabitha told them. Julie honestly doubts that any of this is even real. Tabitha's worried about Julie, as it's obvious she's not doing well and she's been through a lot, but Julie promises she has no intention of hurting herself despite not being okay. It's as Julie walks away that Victor comes by to ask about the man in yellow, and if only he could have showed up just a few seconds earlier, then we could have had an interaction with Julie, who does know about the man in yellow. This won't be the only missed opportunity we get with her this episode. We cut back to Boyd informing Henry and Victor about Tabitha's reincarnation. Henry storms out and Victor doesn't even want to hear anymore. But he does warn that the man in yellow needs to be found, and if he's back, there's going to be trouble. Boyd deciding to later inform everyone at the town meeting of the reincarnations. The obvious question being, are all of them reincarnated or just some of them? The current belief being that only a few people are. Christy calls BS on the entire thing, considering many people have strange things placed into their heads. But Boyd admits that he felt the same until the door to Jade's dream was revealed to be true. The only reason he believes this isn't a lie or a manipulation tactic is because the town also killed Jim when they were getting too close. Boyd thinks that if the enemy is scared, then that's a good thing, with the shot lingering on Sophia, and she does seem a little bit concerned here. Henry then storming in and claiming that none of this is true and that it isn't right. Jade tries to talk him down, but Henry thinks that Jade's only going to bring more pain and he can't actually save dead things. I'm wondering if during this future expedition into the tunnels, Henry will enact some sort of plan or Abby-like actions to stop them from getting any deeper. Meaning the residents not only would have to deal with the monsters, Henry losing it, but also Sarah, who's still susceptible to the influence of the entities. Boyd tries to formulate a plan by figuring out who's been in the tunnel so far so they can map it. I really like how Boyd laid out the plans here, even referring to Randall's scoping of the monsters back when he was in the bus and how useful that could be now. Unfortunately, despite his mind seeming in tip-top shape, his body's beginning to break down, with his hands shaking yet again. Jade reminding us, the audience, that Boyd's Parkinson's is a close-kept secret. Boyd visits Acosta. She obviously wants to help with the tunnels, but before they can, he wants a whole team, including her, to search the basement for any clues about Jade, Tabitha, or even the man in yellow. Acosta still thinking this is all just busy work for people. And I just want to take a side note here to remind people that a lot of fans seem to complain about Acosta wearing an actual uniform for 8 or so episodes that seem to take place over maybe 4 days. Yet Sophia has been wearing that same dress around for not only almost the same amount of episodes, but seemingly even more days. And yet I haven't seen a single complaint about her dress, and this only validates my endless defending of Acosta as a character. Boyd cycles through the photo thing and ends up seeing a photo of him and Abby on their wedding day. This obviously another vision set up by Fromville to mess with him, and potentially not the last fake vision we've seen to manipulate by the end of the episode. Christy arrives and updates him on Donna, but she's pretty upset about having been left out of the loop for the past 2 seasons. She asks Boyd about his Parkinson's and really wants him to come down to the clinic for an exam. His last exam being back in season 2, I believe. Donna's awake, and to my own dismay, she seems fine with everything that happened to her. Those who watch the channel know I was really hoping that she would actually wake up with some new information about what she could have seen in the afterlife, but I'll talk more about my theory in regards to that by the end of the video. Either way, she catches up on the plan and asks if Boyd has even buried Roger yet. And to Boyd's defense, it has only been a literal day since Donna came back with the body and had a heart attack. But Boyd also says that the cemetery's full at this point and they were pushing it with Jim and the priest's bodies. Boyd asks about the totems as he plans to use one to see if he can kill one of the monsters. Acosta gets a team set up outside to search for clues, and Sophia seems to notice Boyd leaving with the totem, with yet again another very uncomfortable expression. Marielle chills in the shed with Roger's puppet corpse, and she claims that everyone who died is still here, implying their own souls have yet to be released. I wonder if this was only here to set up the Roger reveal later in the episode and his soul possibly returning, or if there's more to why Mariel just so happened to visit him before Sophia showed up. Either way, Boyd catches Ellis up on the plan, aiming to do it in the middle of the street to allow for exit points. And if they can hurt the monsters, they'll be better prepared for the tunnels. Henry looks for Tabitha, stopping by Kenny's dad's memorial. He finds drawings of Victor's, with one figure alone in the woods, and the rest being him, his mom, and his sister. Was this symbolic of his dad being far away? Or potentially someone he saw within the woods? He suddenly gets a vision of a hospital pulse monitor and IV, very resemblant of how Tabitha woke up in a hospital bed after she, quote-unquote, died. but we'll touch on that more in a second. Tabitha, Victor, and Ethan check out the man in yellow's car, with Tabitha getting distracted by Miranda's car and actually having a brief flashback to what Miranda saw when she arrived in Fromville. I wonder if either of the gals we see here could have been the original Sophia. It's here we get a classic From scene where a character is taking something or moving something and they take a really long time to actually do it. Victor taking a solid 30 seconds to pick up the bag and look inside to find the teeth. Victor warns that they should leave immediately, but also tries to prepare Ethan, as he, like a lot of us From fans, feel like Ethan is meant to be the next Victor. And considering that mole situation, I think he may be right. Boyd gets a visit from Sophia, who's worried about the monsters and going after the bones as it seems dangerous. Boyd finds some confidence in testing out this totem, and we could see Sophia showing some genuine fear as he explains his plan. But it also seems that she wasn't prepared for Boyd to be getting so close to the answers. Kenny and Jade work together to get a map of the tunnels going.
Is there a reason we can't just draw a map of the tunnels?
I work better spatially.
Jade admits he learned a technique to visualize the dimensions of the caves and whatever he's working on. We've seen Jade do this before when he used the strings to try to recreate the symbol that he was seeing, a symbol made of roots. Which also makes you have to wonder if other things we've seen in town has been a visualization of someone else. Maybe even a past version of Jade? Like with the bottle trees and how they're connected to the ends of roots. Roots also coincidentally being heavily connected to the children being sacrificed and their hope being poured into them. We also have Dead Tom from last season admitting that maybe the bottle trees were just from someone else trying to figure things out. Jade asks Kenny what he used to do, and I'm always happy to see more lighthearted moments between characters. Kenny admitting that he used to work in youth sports as an administrator, otherwise known as a coach. So we can now officially change Kenny's name to Coach Kenny. Jade asks Henry what he used to do, and Henry admits he kind of just drank the whole time. Jade and Henry discuss Tabitha before he's suddenly pulled into a hospital bed with a clean, normal Victor visiting him. Now sure, we could attribute this to Tabitha's situation in the reveal that the real world is really just one death away, or we can attribute it to Abby's situation, where she was obviously influenced into believing that they were all in a dream. Seems off screen, what happened with Henry could be what Abby was going through. But like I asked on my last video, where was the man in yellow during this time? Sophia visits the barn and she smells some chicken eggs. I'm believing presumably she was looking to see if one of them could have been fertilized, as presumably it would take a fertilized egg or an egg with life in order to bring Roger back altogether. But I do have to ask you guys, there's been several moments where we see Sophia whispering and praying in a different language. I can't actually tell what language this is or what she's exactly saying, but if anyone else has an idea, please let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to shout you out next video. Another thing I'd want you guys to figure out is whatever book Donna was reading on the side of her bed. Potentially unimportant, but I couldn't piece it together. Elgin and Julie catch up, and she wonders about his eye, him not wanting to talk about it for very obvious reasons. So she changes the subject to how she's scared her mom is pushing too hard. It's here I find that I really appreciated the friendship they built up between these characters. Elgin admits that he still thinks this is part of God's plan and they're all being tested. He claims this place wins by throwing so many lies at you that you can't see the truth when it's obvious. But right now, the only truth I want this lovable Cyclops to be spilling is the simple words, the man in yellow. Once again, Julie is left perfectly out of the loop, though I do appreciate the attention to detail with her not having heard about the man in yellow so far outside of her own vision. Still, it's only a matter of time before she does hear those words and makes a connection. Boyd goes to Sarah to make sure she stands ready at the door in case their plans don't work out. But Sarah has a little bit of a different plan in mind.
I volunteer as tribute.
Boyd rejects it, claiming that this is on him. But still, y'all have to put some respect on my girl Sarah's name. She's fully about this redemption arc. Donna gets upset about being stuck in her bed all day, but Fatima stops her. And it's here I found myself severely disappointed that Donna didn't really have much of a reaction to dying. But like I said earlier, I'll get more into that by the end of the video. Sophia chooses to stay at the colony house for a night, and as Boyd prepares for the night, his sons Kenny and Ellis show concern for Boyd's lingering health, mentioning how his Parkinson's could actually be a problem when he faces off against the monsters. It was actually really wholesome to watch these two spiritual brothers try to protect their dad, but with it being tough to hide his Parkinson's, he agrees to let Kenny go. It's as Kenny prepares to head out there that Sophia begins to speak those same incantations to bring Roger back officially, him beginning to freak out and peel open his stitches. Kenny officially enacts on the plan and heads out into the street to stab the monster, only it doesn't work. He's very fortunate to have not been murdered right there on the spot, but he's able to make his way to the top of the bus as the monsters surround the outside. And I'm not gonna lie, if the opening edit for this video wasn't any indication, I fully thought Kenny was cooked here. And let me tell you something, I was not prepared for another Glenn moment to happen. Thankfully, as Smiley was taunting about how he killed Kenny's father, Fatima's connection started to kick in. Her able to temporarily take control of Smiley through their connection and allowing Kenny enough time to save himself and hop inside the bus. Though he did leave the top hatch open, and if the first episode proved anything, it's that these things seem to be able to fly. Either way, for now, it seems Kenny's safe, and the colony house, not so much, as Roger busts through the door, freaking everyone out, and even grabbing a guy, but surprisingly not killing him. Getting distracted by Patty, who actually gives a surprisingly stellar performance as Roger approaches her. I'm not sure how long Patty has been on the show for, or if this is her first season as an extra, but she was surprisingly killing it with this scene. Can't wait for her to turn against Tabitha and the entire fandom to hate her. But still, y'all gotta give her flowers here. Either way, Elgin is able to save Patty just in time and stop Roger, seemingly ruining Sophia's plans, yet when we get a shot of her, she seems awfully pleased. This episode was another great one, and while I was disappointed with things like Donna coming back in a very anticlimactic way, I was pleased to at least see some more town meetings, as it's something the fandom has been pushing for since season 1. Although ironically enough at this time, I feel like Boyd should go back to playing things close to the chest. Still, last season, with so many people like Donna telling him the town's lost faith in him as a leader, you could tell he's really trying to keep everyone included and informed. And considering they all live within Colony House, where this mission could potentially take place, I think it's only fair to keep everyone updated. But that does leave me wondering, if the totems didn't work on the monsters, why did Sophia seem so disturbed by them? Is there a chance that, like the dolls, the man in yellow came into existence in the same original settlement that Tabitha came from? Meaning the totems could actually potentially work on her specifically? I've touched on this in theory videos like how to beat the monsters, but I think that if Fatima's golem can come to life based off purely belief, then it's possible the talismans were made with the belief they'll protect against the nightmare monsters, but the totems could have been made with the belief that they worked against the puppets. This could even explain that while Jim and Kenny were out back in season 3 in the cabins and they heard those footsteps, that this could have actually been the man in yellow, as the puppets were still submerged within the lake at this time. But now I'm curious, in regards to Puppet Roger, if people who die here have their trolls trapped somewhere else like Mariel was saying, was this actually a Roger and not just an entity Sophia summoned out of nowhere? Sure, he seemed to be freaking out and busting open the colony doors, but coming back to life after such a gruesome death to that puppet would definitely mess your mental up a bit. Couple this with him potentially being trapped in the same place the cicada victims described as a endless torture and fear-filled realm. Potentially, he was just so freaked out having endured everything he just endured that he didn't really know what to do with himself and wasn't thinking clearly. Notice how he didn't actually attack anybody within the colony house. But then with all this talks of afterlives and where people could go, that still begs the question, what did Donna see after she died? She came off so relatively normal, and I promised last week that I would be disappointed if she woke up fine. However, with Roger's short revival, I wonder if this could push the residents into asking more questions about death and what happens after you die, inevitably maybe leading to asking Donna what she could have seen. Though mark my words, if this season ends without any payoff to everything that's been going on with Donna, I'm gonna think it's all just filler. Sure, they could give an answer the next season, but at this point, we have too many questions set up for season 5 that they need to start answering things now. But I have to ask you guys, do you think that the Fatima Smiley connection will come in handy at some point? We could even see her try to use this ability to help, like we saw with Will and Vecna in Stranger Things. Hopefully this series doesn't end the same way that one did. But my final point would be, why in an episode where literally everyone is doing something, does Ellis still not have anything to do? It seems like when Ellis is outside and in a settlement, he's super productive. Yet anytime he's in town, he's never doing much. This has to be a running joke within the writer's room at this point. It's whatever though. I still have high hopes for my boy Ellis.
What's your name?
I'm Ellis. The day my family and I saw that tree, our lives changed forever. But the day that I saw you get out of that car, that's the day that my life really began. This is where I was standing the very first moment that I saw you. I don't even remember anymore who I was before you stepped out of that car. I don't want to find out who I am without you. When my mom died, you were the one that brought me back. You didn't even know me very well, but you knew that I was still in there, underneath all the dark, horrible shit that I was going through. I don't want to let this place be the thing that decides when we get to be happy. Let's get married.
Getting married?
We're getting married. Made it.
What, are you kidding me? You are my son. mine. I love you, and I am proud of the man that you have become. And not a single day goes by where that hasn't been true.
But last night it got bad. Yeah, it got really bad. Yeah, I feel like the people that make it here, it's because there's a part of themselves that they hold on to. I feel like I saw a piece of her start to slip away. Dad, I don't know how to help her. You know, she's fucking falling apart right in front of me, and I don't know what to do. I can't do anything to help her.
It has to be you. You have to be that piece of her that this place can't take away. That's how we get through this.
If you don't get up and go after him right now, you're gonna regret it for the rest of your life.
What Mom did, it wasn't your fault. Look, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry.
Whatever this is, we are stronger than this. Anywhere. I mean, we could be here, we could be there, we could be anywhere in the world, but it would not matter because you are my home. And I would really like to be yours.
I can't lose him.
Hey, look at me. He's not going anywhere, okay?
None of us get to stay forever.
I don't need forever. I never gave up on you. It's my turn now.
I love you.
I love you too.
I love you.
I love you too. I love you.
Please make me feel